Hello everyone, this is your 5 and welcome to the Comic Book Central Toy Review. And today's toy review, looking at the 2010 release by Hasbro of the Iron Man 2 movie series action figure review. And today's action figure review, looking at the Wallmart exclusive of the 6-inch Warmachine. Now, this figure is not available in Malaysia at all because we don't have Walmart. Okay, and this is a Wallmart exclusive figure. We don't have Walmart, we don't have Target, so I was really bummed out that I never get a chance to own this figure because only a handful, I think less than what my fingers are having right now, really handful of toy shops, specialty toy shops actually would sell this, and really expensive stuff, and they don't even actually order a lot too, maybe a 1 or 2 figures per shop. And a lot of these toy shops are really far away from my place, maybe about 40 minutes drive. So really, by the time I reach them, this baby is gone. However, I was very lucky enough to win in A369's 100 subscribers contest. It's a lottery contest which I was so lucky enough that my name was called into that lottery itself, and I managed to get this figure. I have to thank A369 for sending this figure from the US all the way to Malaysia, the other side of the world itself. I really have to thank you again, A369. Really, you're a very awesome and generous person. Thank you. This is a really awesome prize. Now, I really babbled long enough. Let's take a look at the front part of the packaging. On the top part of the packaging, you got the nice little artwork of Iron Man. Here you got a silver sticker with an interesting choice of red fonts. It's more like a little bit dark red there, so it's a bit hard to see unless you pull the package a little bit closer, like so, and we'll say exclusive 6-inch movie series. At the bottom part here, you got a sticker, the Walmart sticker, stated only at Walmart. Save money, live better. Really wish there's Walmart in my country, but On the side here, you got the snap-on weapons, and the only 2 weapons that the Warmachine has, not counting the arms, of course, or the chest, the minigun, and the missile pack, which is the snap-on weapons. The rest of the stuff would be the belt feet and the hands, the extra hands. Also, this small little piece of armor piece here, which you can actually cover on the shoulder pad. And at the bottom, nothing much. It's named now Warmachine. Now, at the back of the packaging itself, really big packaging, you got the bio on the top there, which stated that taken directly from Tony Stark's lab, this armor suit was reverse engineered and rebuilt by the Air Force top scientists. They boosted its engine output, enhanced its hydraulic muscles, and added several of the military's most powerful weapons. Iron Man might be a one-man army, but this machine is built for war. Military most powerful weapons in the movie, they equip majority or at least all of the weapons from Justin Hammer's weapons. And one of the weapons doesn't work, the Black Widow, if I recall. Now, if you take a closer look here, I'll show it here. The eyes and the arc reactor is actually painted in blue, which is kind of interesting. At the bottom here, it reads, "Product and colors may vary." So this actually is a prototype, but not too sure how they may screw up the prototype design, since the movie itself, the eyes and the arc reactor, that is red. Go figure. Now there are the rest of the line itself. For the 6-inch, you got the Mark 4 armor, the Mark 1 armor, and the deep dive armor. So I already babbled long enough. Let's open up this baby so we can molest the toy. Be right back. And we're back after removing the figure, and there is a stuff out from packaging. Now inside the packaging, it comes with a whole slew of accessories, mostly hands though. Now let's take a look at the hands first. Now the hands itself is nicely sculpted and very nicely detailed stuff. Very detailed stuff, especially on the middle of the repulsor blast itself, the center point of the palm. Notice the paint job is also nicely done. In the middle of the repulsor itself is painted in white, and the edges are painted in slightly lighter in red. Very nicely done. And there's articulation, goes upwards and downwards, like so. You got a pair of semi-open hands, same kind of paint job and quite detailed as well, and a pair of enclosed fists. Now the paint job is a bit different for the repulsor palm on the enclosed fist. Both fists has the same paint job. Now the rest of the hands itself, in the center point, it will show a white paint job in the middle. However, for the enclosed fist, the entire thing is painted in red. Not too sure why though. Then you have the missile pack that comes with 6 missiles, and you can detach it like so and put it onto the shoulder. And it does have limited articulation. It doesn't go 360 of course, but it can go left and right like so. And this piece here is the shoulder piece. At the top part of the piece itself, you notice there's a pack for you to plug it on the shoulder itself if you don't want him to equip with the missile pack. Then you have the belt feet that connects to the back of the figure and to the minigun, and you've got the nice little detailed minigun that really nicely done. I really love the details being put on the minigun. The barrel on the top part here, notice the chamber itself is also nicely sculpted, very nice and articulated. First I have to pull this out to show you the articulation. The minigun is on a ball joint, so it can go up and down like so, and on a hinge that go all the way back, and you can hide it like so. And if it's not enough, it can go to the sides as well. Very nice. Now the belt feet is a bit pain sometimes, because whichever position you try to pose for the minigun itself, it tends to slip off quite easily. And you can notice this is supposed to be straight, now it's all bent up like so the moment you plug it in and just place it like so. But it's not such a big deal, and it's not too loose anyway. It fits slightly tighter into the holes itself, and you notice the back one is a bit more loose. Now the paint job for the figure is absolutely very nice. Simple but very nicely done, and you notice there's some little details on the paint job as well. First things first, you got majority of the figure itself is painted in dark gray, and some parts are painted in silver. The knee itself, the thigh, back on the knee, the entire lower torso, the shoulders here, the upper bicep, the face, nicely painted in silver. The arc reactor here, majority inside of the arc reactor is in white, and the tiny little portion of the edges of the ring itself is painted in red. So that's the eyes itself. Now on the top part of the forehead, you may not able to see it because it's way too dark. There's dark red paint job of a triangle shape on these two sides of the forehead. Very nicely done, nicely small details. You notice all the code and the numbers all etched to the armor itself: 001, ED445, FLTS, 001 here, AF57. I'm not even sure what does all this number meant for. Here at the bottom part of the arms itself, you notice yellow and black stripes, very tiny portion being etched onto this end of the weapon itself. Very nicely painted, really simple but very nice. Now the sculpt of the figure itself is absolutely amazing. I really love the entire detail of the armor itself. Let's take a look at the arc reactor. Because the armor is based on the Mark II armor, and all they did with the military is to add on the armor, the arc reactor looks like it's more deeper placed into the armor rather than being put more outwards to the armor itself. You notice it's quite deep inside, so it's really nice touch there, really nicely done. And all the armor itself, the black armor overlapping on the silver Mark II armor, is quite nicely done. You notice this gun on both his hands is the same sculpt gun from the other side as well, and really nicely detailed stuff. Some sort of pulse gun, I'm not sure. Very nicely detailed. The legs itself, all the hydraulics, very nicely done. And the back here, too bad there's no articulation on this flaps here. It would be great if they add that kind of flaps, but if you want to get that kind of detailed stuff, you might as well get the 12-inch Iron Man figure. But still, it's a very nice touch. I really like the details here. Leg parts as well, the feet, Wow, simply amazing details. Really love the hip joints here, really nice. Entire thing, all the armors overlapping each other, very nicely done. And the head sculpt is also quite nice, really nicely done. Here's at the back as well, a little bit spine there to go with it, very nice. Now let's take a look at the figure's articulation. The head is actually on a ball joint hinge, so you can move the head a little bit upwards and downwards, all the way down, looking down at you, and turn left and right. Because due to the shoulder pads itself, it can't turn 360 degrees, but it's still very nice. The shoulder pads here is actually articulated. It's not part of the shoulder itself, it's part of the body, the torso itself, so it can still flap up and down. And the arms can turn 360 degrees, but is hindered by the shoulder pad. Arms can actually lift this far, and the missile pad just popped off. And there's a swivel upper bicep that turns 360 degrees, arms that go back and forth, double jointed elbow, very nicely done, and the hands are all easily detachable for you to switch around with which hands that you want to use. It goes inwards and outwards, and the flaps on the forearm also goes inward and outward, which also easily detachable. Now the torso part here is quite, well, as you can see, it's a bit loose, but it's still alright. Goes left and right, but doesn't turn 360 degrees. Goes back that far and a little bit front. That's about it. It has a ball joint hip, which the peg is aligned this way, so you have to turn the entire ball joint hip for him to bend the forward leg this much, or to the side this much. Swivel tie that turns 360 degrees, double jointed knee, and the ankles here can bend a little bit downwards and upwards and goes left and right. It can turn 360 degrees, but it's hindered by the armor parts of the lower ankle now. So overall, if I have to give a rating of this figure, it looks absolutely amazing. So if I'm going to give a rating of this figure, I'll say I'll give it a 9 out of 10. I thank you all for watching, and I thank you again, H269, for giving me this prize. So this is Lucy05, and I'm signing off.